Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary.
Top 5 dead alive, only came to terrify. Every topic scary, we could leave the bravest paralyzed. Hope you're not at home alone, better keep the lights on. But if you love adrenaline, then welcome to the fright zone. Willie is the leader, the visionary dreamer. Gerard got the joke, scaredy cat the screamer. You gon' get this work, if you scared, go to church. This podcast is scariest, you heard it here first.
And he said that to me because I was like, I'm just excited that Jeepers Creepers is here. You know, I want to see the character again. But when because he's a huge lover of Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome to Yup, That's Scary, your #1 Halloween horror and haunted house podcast. I'm your host, Willie May, and we have a good show for you today. We're doing something a little bit different here. We're going to cross over to pop culture, something that has resonated with me when I was a kid, and we're going to have a good time. And so I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining us on a nostalgic journey through the vibrant world of 1980s animation with Samantha Newark, the iconic voice actress behind the beloved characters like Jim and Jerrica Benton in the cult classic cartoon series Jim and the Holograms. Twice nominated for the Young Artist Award for her exceptional work in the animation, Samantha's voice defined generations and left an incredible mark on fans worldwide. So I am so excited to switch up from the horror world to the pop culture world and do something different and just let my nostalgia run free. So I have a co-host that you haven't seen in a minute, and I'm so happy that she stepped in for us. Here is my co-host, Shenanigans. What's up,
Hey, Willie. How's it going? So
it's going. It's going. Look, I am so happy. Kat is not with us today, but Shenanigans jumped in, and director and award winner Shenanigans is here with us today to interview Samantha Newark. And let me tell you, I'm so excited that Shenanigans is with me because she is a huge fan of Samantha, right? Like earlier today, I was like, let me send her some notes and stuff like that, and some videos and just go over the history, because it's been a minute for me, and she's like, no, baby, like this is my childhood, like just sit down.
Yeah,
sit down, enjoy this ride.
I had the dolls, I had everything. I didn't like Barbies as much as I like Jim. So
really,
I used to have the little earrings, everything.
Right, because they were actually in, from the history of it, they were actually in a battle, Barbie and Jim, and was it Harsh? I'm gonna mess up this toy line, but Hasbro. I think I got it right. Yeah, Hasbro. They were in competition with Barbie. So we have the one and only queen of Hasbro here, of animation here today, to talk about everything about her experience in her career. And whoa, what a amazing career. Just going over my show notes, I was like, oh my goodness. And so I'm just so blessed and honored to have her. So let's not hold up anything. I just want to say, hey, everyone that's watching at home, if you're watching, go ahead into our comments and say what's up. This is a show that we engage with our horror community, with our fans, with our followers, with our supporters. So please let us know if you have any questions for Samantha. You can put it in our comments, and we actually get to see it. Technology, we get to see it and we get to say what's up. So anyways, because we got such a packed show, you want to start this off with horror news in a minute?
Yep, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Bette Midler wants to do Hocus Pocus 3 before it's too late. Bette Midler, known for her iconic role in the horror Hocus Pocus series, is eager to bring the Sanderson sisters back for a third installment. I'm excited. I love this. Following the success of Hocus Pocus 2 in 2022, fans and cast members alike are wondering why the third film hasn't been greenlit yet. Midler, appearing on QVC's Busy This Week, shared that while she hasn't seen the script, she's heard some rumblings about the possible sequel. And if so, at 78, Midler urged Disney to hurry it up, saying, "Time is barrel-assing to the finish line. Get us while we're still breathing. I mean, God," which that sounds like her, right? All right, here's some news on my favorite franchise now. Beetlejuice receives new PG-13 rating, the highly anticipated sequel to the 1988 classic. Beetlejuice is almost here. Titled Beetlejuice, the film has officially received its PG-13 rating for today's times. Fans can expect the movie to streamline its family rating, but with an understanding that Tim Burton is spinning things a little darker than the original. According to the MPA, fans can expect some bloody imagery, strong language, as we can see in the trailer that was just released, and some brief drug use. The aligns with the original film's tone rather than the excessive gore, staying true to Tim Burton's darker Gothic style. Paramount cancels Halo's TV series. After 2 seasons, the Halo TV series, based on the popular video game franchise, premiered in Paramount in 2022. Despite a dedicated fan base, the series has been canceled after just 2 seasons. Paramount announced that they are proud of the ambitious project and thanked their partners at Xbox, 343 Industries, and Amblin Television, and the show's cast and crew. The series currently being shopped at the series is currently being shopped at other networks, hoping to find a new home for its continuation. I hope it makes it through. Stay tuned for more updates in the world of horror. But in today's studio, we have Samantha Newark.
What does these Halloween horror and haunted house influencers have in common?
You are watching That's Scary.
You're watching That's Scary.
You're watching That's Scary.
'Tis the season to be scary. So stay scary with us and stalk us now and join your new horror family.
Shannon, wow, you kicked butt at that. I'm just saying, what a great read. And then not only that, but like, going back to Hocus Pocus, I think it's smart for them to start on 3. We're at the nostalgic area. We need to get them back on the screen again. Let us have one more. You know what I mean? Yeah. With some of these greats are passing away, they're getting old, they're getting up there, like Robert Englund. He's not going to do Freddy again. And I would love to see him do Freddy one more time. And so I think she's right. I think it's so smart for her to say, "Hey guys, like, look, I'm up in age. You're going to get one out of me. Like, let's do a 3 and let's hurry up and get it going." And I'm glad she's making it. She's saying it to everybody. And I think, and what was that line she said? She said something
asking for.
That is all her. That is her line.
Very much her.
Yeah, and so it's totally good. And fun fact, I want to say this. Fun fact: we actually our second guest on Yep, That's Scary was the cast the dance captain of Hocus Pocus 2.
Oh, nice.
Steve came onto the show, and he was my second guest, and they just wrapped on Hocus Pocus, and he showed us pictures and everything. We had to sign a disclosure, of course, because the big mouse. But we also did a watch party for Hocus Pocus. We're big fans here at Yep, That's Scary. Yeah. And it was just really cool that was our second guest, and totally with like, hey, like, told us good details about shooting with Miller. And let me just say this: you guys go back to that. You know, you got to go back into our episodes, but go back and hear it. It's incredible. We want to say what's up to Terry Williamson. What's up, Terry? Thank you so much for being on our show. Then we got and watching our show. Then we got Molly Zombie. Of course, thank you for the support. Thank you for the support. Molly Zombie. Hey, we gotta call me Jose because we got some work to do. We got some things we gotta get on. And I'm not supporting the well, I always support Molly Zombie, but I don't have the cup. But I do got my Beetlejuice, which I'm kind of upset that it's fading already. I like to support artists and everything, but like this product is fading already that I paid $30 for. So anyways, you ready to move to the next segment?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
All right. Looking to be a part of the community while getting the 401 on Halloween, horror and haunt industry happenings? Well, you're in luck. Word on the street is that Yup, That's Scary now has a Patreon, accepting like-minded individuals to engage and participate and have a little fun within a new horror community. Get the exclusive content, merch, and messages from the cast. Be invited to some exclusive members only and notable horror events. I said that with a little bit more of a horror, you see what I'm doing there. Anyway, sign up to become a member today on Patreon. All right, we want to thank our sponsor, VFX Creates. Step into the extraordinary world of practical effects and horror props that will transcend boundaries. Whether you're a seasoned haunter or a budding die-hard horror enthusiast, their cutting-edge props empower you with frightening scares that will have you unleashing your creativity like never before. You can visit vfxcreates.com for more. All right, so guess what? Do you want to take your brand to devilish heights or lowers? I don't know. Anyway, if you would like to position your business in front of your audience, be a sponsor. Email yupthat'sscary@gmail.com. Guess what, yuppies? Yup, That's Scary has partnered up with some incredible events this spooky season. Play that Georgia Pop and HorrorCon video.
Calling all pop culture and horror fans. The Georgia Pop and Horror Con is coming to Columbus, Georgia Convention Center at 801 Front Ave. Snag autographs and enjoy engaging Q&A panels. Explore a wide range of vendors with unique collectibles. Don't miss the thrilling cosplay contest with a cash prize. Get your tickets now at gapopandhorrorcon.com. Georgia Pop and Horror Con is an unforgettable experience you won't want to miss.
Oh, you caught me dancing. Get ready for a frightfully fun weekend. Georgia Pop and HorrorCon is back at the Trade and Conference Center in Columbus, Georgia from August 2nd to the 4th. Don't miss your chance to see your favorite horror and pop culture celebrities. Mark your calendars for an unforgettable event. I know I will. In fact, I will be there. We have joined the 17th annual Buried Alive Horror Film Festival, November 7th to the 10th in Atlanta, Georgia at the Plaza Theater. Buried Alive Film Festival is once again calling all filmmakers who want to accept the challenge of making a horror film in 13 days. Why 13? Well, that's because it's spooky, that's why. So this sounds pretty easy to you? Well, there's a catch. Each filmmaker must draw a card from two hats. One hat is filled with a horror-themed card like vampires and zombies. The other hat adds a unique twist with a card against humanity. Think you can do it? There's only 20 teams competing this year, and there are only 8 spots left. If you think you got what it takes, hop on the Buried Alive Film Festival website and sign up today. That's buriedalivefilmfest.com.
Woo! That was awesome. Let's go. We paid some bills. We talked about the event, and let me just say this: like the Georgia Pop Horror Con, that event was going to be amazing. We showed a few celebrities that's going to be there. Samantha Newark is going to be there as well, which we're going to be doing a panel discussion with her and diving more deep into her career. Because let me tell you, she's been everywhere. She's lived everywhere. And I was like, last night, I was like going over and I'm like, okay, she lived in England. I was like, okay, well, I visit England. So I was like in London. I was like, okay, so check. And then she was like, she moved to California. She went to Africa. I'm from Africa. So I just went check this. Then she moved to California. I'm like, okay, check. Like, then she went to Nashville, and I'm like, okay, had a business there, check. And I'm like, dang, like I've been a big fan of hers and been following her for the longest and just didn't know. She probably didn't know. I promise you, Samantha, I didn't stalk you, but man, oh man, we got so much in common. So I'm just so excited. So, Shannon, you're not the only one. But
bring me Jim, Willie.
right. Okay. So I mean, I'm so blessed to have her here, and we're not going to hold up the interview much longer. But man, like I must say, when I was a kid, because I'm gonna go back in time, y'all. I'm not gonna try to date myself, but I'm an '80s baby, and when my sister and we would fight over the TV and what we were watching, and I was watching Scooby Doo, I was watching He-Man, I was watching Flintstones, and she was watching My Little Ponies, Care Bears, and then she was watching Jim, and I was like, and because we were kids, we had our bowl of cereal, which that was our when in the 80s, cereal, Postmates and General Mills had a big influence on us. Okay. Yes. Then you had the cartoons, and it was like happening on Saturdays. That was a huge, impact on us as well. And then, and so just seeing it and just, seeing my sister was a big Jim and the Holograms fan. And I remember I had to sit through it and watch it. And then when Transformers came on, I loved it, and just and so to see that she totally piqued both interests of ours when we were kids. I'm so blessed to have her in the show. So we're gonna go way back. So prepare yourself if you're watching. Get ready to date yourself and go way back with us, because it's all about the '80s, baby. All about the '80s.
This Halloween, don't just haunt, wear your spirit. Halloween Shirt Company, where every shirt tells a spooky tale. Get yours now and make a haunting statement at HalloweenShirtCompany.com.
So I want to be transparent here. When I first heard about Jim and I was looking at the cartoon, I was like, I know that, and it only took me to watch the YouTube commercial, and I was like, oh my god, I know that. And I texted my sister right away, like, guess who's gonna be on my show? And she's like, cool. Like, Jim and the Hologram. She's like, no way. And I showed her the intro to the cartoon, and I showed her Samantha. I was like, that's the one who did the voice. And she was like freaking out. And so she's probably watching. If you watch it, Dee, hey, I know you're jealous, but come on in that chat room. Let us know. Again, you guys, this is all about interaction. So if you are in that chat room and you want to tell a story or let Samantha know everything about, being an 80s baby and what, the culture has done for you, let us know, because it's done a lot for you, Shannon, right?
Yes, big time. Made me who I am. I was using Jim and the Hologram dolls to make movies.
I mean, I see you have the purple hair, but she had pink hair. She had the pink hair. Yes. Were you trying to do that? Was that trying?
Maybe.
All right, let's play it. Here we go.
Do this.
Samantha Newark!
It's so lovely to be here with you guys.
Whoa! We are so happy and blessed to have you. We are so happy. Yes. Let me just say this. I was tearing it up. I don't know if you saw me backstage, but that intro, I mean, it rocked. It rocked.
It really
I think it was
did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I when I was young, you know, of course I didn't hit puberty, so I could hit every note. So,
Ooh, right.
Impressive.
Change.
so I just want to say thank you so much
Yeah.
for being on the show. We really do
Oh,
appreciate you.
thank you for
And
inviting me. Thank you.
yes, and we will get started with the interview. So again, guys, if you guys are watching and you have a comment or question to ask, we will ask them for you. Go ahead into our comments and let us know. And so, anyways, Samantha, can you tell everyone, especially the young folk, because we have a lot of young folk that watch
Right.
too, but who is Samantha Newark?
Who is Samantha Newark? Well, that's a loaded question. I know when you guys were like, we're going way, way back in time, I'm thinking, yeah. So I was a fetus when I did Gem, apparently. What
Let's
does that
go.
make me? Yeah, no, I just, gosh, when I grew up in England. I was born in England, raised in England. I used to talk funny when I was little,
Oh,
and I had an accent until I was about 12 because I used to get bullied in school. You know, it wasn't cool to be British when you were 10. It probably would have flew better in high school. But yeah, I grew up in England and then we moved to South Africa when I was 6 and a half. And I started singing when I was out there. I saw this kid singer named Lena Zavaroni. You can Google her. She was phenomenal. And she had done like an American Idol kind of, you know, but on a much smaller scale in England. Talent show. She was 10 at the time, I think 9 or 10, and was winning like every week. This little kid, he was like blowing the adults out of the water. And she came and toured in South Africa. My parents took me to see her sing. And I had like a come to Jesus moment. Like I saw her and her orchestra and her dancing costumes and and I just was like, that, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. And, I 6 months later, it was really crazy. I memorized every song on her record and sang at like a swap meet, and people were throwing money at me, and I guess that's where it all started. And 6 months later, I had like a little band that my dad put together for me. He became my manager, and I was off and running. And I've never
Nice.
looked back. You know,
Never look back.
never looked back. Yeah.
Awesome. That is awesome. And you are you were like a triple threat when you were young, dancing, singing. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spoil because I have some of the questions down below. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, you were even trying at that point in time. Annie was another point in your life
Yeah.
where you crossed paths with
Yes.
having to, you know, be in the Broadway show or the London show. How was that for
Yeah.
you?
Well, that was actually probably my first showbiz disappointment because it's such feast or famine in the business. And I was 10. I was so obsessed with Annie. It was just this whole other level. I loved the show. I loved the score so much, and I wanted to be Annie more than anything. And so I got actually cast in an abbreviated production of it in Washington D.C. with the United States Navy band, and they did an amazing production, and I got to be Annie. And Martin Charnin, who he actually wrote all the lyrics for Annie, was always scouting new Annies. He came to see me and flew me to New York, and I auditioned with a bunch of other people, and I was too tall. And I remember my mom, she was like, well, get another Daddy Warbucks, because the Daddy Warbucks was kind of not very tall at the time. And she's like, and I had a British passport because I was English.
Right,
And it
which
would have
is
been the Broadway
yeah.
production going to London. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, and it was so perfect
Yeah.
because you had access to from living there in London and everything.
Right. I still
It
had
was
a British
easy
passport.
to cast.
Yeah. And they were like, we've seen it 100 times. She is almost 11. She's going to grow, and we don't start
Right.
Rehearsals until October or something, and it was like April or May. And he was right. I grew like crazy, and and so yeah. But I did get to be Annie. I didn't get to be Annie in the Broadway thing, but I did get to play Annie, and that was amazing.
Yeah, which
my
everyone doesn't
little
know
artist
that.
heart was satisfied.
Oh, which everyone doesn't know that that's one of the territories of doing an Annie production. It's like you gotta have her in the right place. You gotta have her.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, it's just a classic. It
Yeah.
always has
It
been,
is.
and I think it always will be. It's just a beautiful story, and and the music is so good. And I got to
Yeah.
see Andrea McArdle as Annie back in the day. My parents took me to see her
Wow.
in Washington, D.C. So I saw it with Dorothy Loudon, who was Miss Hannigan, and I saw it with Andrea McArdle and all the original orphans. And yeah.
And you fell in love instantly.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
So what was your initial reaction when you were cast as the voice of Jim and Jerica Bitten in the Jim and the Holograms?
I was so, when I got signed to my agent, they just started sending me out on voiceover things, and I really didn't have a lot of acting experience at all. I had signed to a really, really big agency, ICM, when I was 10, and it's like ICM, William Morris, Creative Artist. So I was doing State Fair. I was opening for like Eddie Rabbit and Pat and Debbie Boone and doing all these huge state fairs. And then they kind of threw me into the movie department. And at the end of the day, I was a very small fish in this huge agency, and they didn't really quite know what to do with me. So I left and went to a more boutique agencies, and they started sending me out for voiceovers. And one day I got a call from my agent, and they said, "Sam, you've got an audition for a cartoon series, like an animated series," I think they said. And I was like, to be a cartoon? They were like, yeah,
Right?
yeah. And she's a singer, she's a rock star, she's a secret identity, and the whole thing. And I was like, oh my
Oh,
god,
that's so
this is
cool.
so amazing.
Yeah.
So I went to Wally Burr Studios in Burbank, California, and I was there with like a zillion voice actors, and went in there and read in the booth with Wally, the director, Wally Burr. And then, as you do with auditions, I mean, I think anybody who's been out there in the audition world, you can't get attached to stuff. You just can't. So, my little showbiz 18-year-old brain was just like, okay. In fact, I didn't even think that I left going, oh God, I don't know. I don't know if I did okay. I don't know what I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I was not very confident when I left the audition. I remember feeling that. And, but then I booked it.
Wow.
And I was blown away. But I didn't realize at the time, I actually kept my little audition script, which you usually leave it there, but for some reason I took it with me. It's just a photocopy. And I wrote on it, must talk to Arlene about doing the singing voice for Jem, because I actually thought that's why I was auditioning, because I was a singer as well. But
Right.
It turns out that was a huge machine in New York that was already cast, and they were now matching the speaking talent, the voiceover, to the singing counterparts. So none of us knew that at the time.
Yeah.
And like, it was only really until the internet that people were like, wait, what?
Yeah.
They just assumed.
No idea.
Yeah. The
No
magic of the 80s. Yeah.
I mean,
But,
I was shocked because you a vocalist, you're singing, you're winning these competitions. I thought it was you the whole entire time singing and acting.
Right.
Didn't know that it was
right.
two people, and they were just matching your voice with the singer, and you
Exactly.
got it. Which, I mean, you worked hard for that. Trust and believe.
Yeah.
But it was so funny because you are already a singer, and that they already like cast that, which
Right.
is
And
odd.
That's the beautiful Britta Phillips, by the way. She's amazing. Like, literally every time I hear the theme song, I'm like, I get the chills. And she was great. And I've said it before. I feel like, how lovely two female artists that love what they do got to work on this show. We got to do what we love for a living. And that's
Yes.
pretty darn cool. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they did a lot of that in the 80s. And I don't know why they didn't do it together, but they did. So, that's how that was done.
Right.
That's amazing. I had no idea. idea.
Yeah.
Because I've heard your singing before, and I love your music videos on your website, by the way.
Thank
you.
I
think you're fabulous. You're a wonderful singer.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Really good.
It's kind of a strange thing where over the years, where fans I say I sing, and they're like, yeah, but you didn't do the singing for Jen. And I'm like, yeah, but I sing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be a weird animal, but and singing is what I've done professionally since I was 7, and I love it. And it was so wild to end up in the voiceover world. Like, I would never have. This is the thing about show business, and I learned at a young age, just say yes. The trajectory of my life, and I'm sure a lot of artists can relate to this. You just never know. You never know what you're gonna end up doing, and where your gifts and talents are gonna be used. So I've had some wild journeys, like crazy journeys, and voiceover was like this incredible thing that I just walked into, just at an audition one day, and now all these years later, literally, I'm talking to you guys like, what? It's so crazy.
You still have a beautiful, beautiful voice. It's exciting.
Thank you.
It's exciting to hear. I can hear Jim still.
You can hear it. Yay! I was thinking you have a really nice speaking voice too. You really do. Because one thing that drives me crazy as a singer is this vocal fray thing that's just become so like it's become everywhere. Like women talk down here, and it's probably and it fries your chords. So as a singer, I'm just like, oh god, and you don't have that, and you have a beautiful, like lyrically beautiful voice. Yeah, you do.
I used to be in a band a long time ago.
You used to sing, Shannon?
Yeah, I used to be a singer.
Let's go.
Right on.
Yeah, I used to perform and everything, and then I went to go record our first album, and I walked out. I didn't like the way I sounded. You hear yourself back, it's different. It's different.
Yeah.
But
I relate to that. Yeah.
It's different, but I'm actually kind of fanning out that you're even with us today, because like I've come home from school and I would sit down in front of the TV, and you were like the voice I heard all the time. Like I was really drawn into the drama of your story.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, like little soap opera for kids.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. My mother used to say, "Are you gonna go watch your soaps?"
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah. What of it?
Yeah.
You gonna watch yours?
Yeah, and it was kind of like, if it's not like it is today, where back then you were invested, because if you missed it, you missed an episode. There was no
there's no reruns
right.
Yeah.
So kids were like they were on it. Like if you wanted to watch it and catch up, that's what you had to do. And
yes,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's so crazy, because I feel like that's when life made sense, because we rely on so much technology, but like we made the effort to meet, Jim in the morning, every morning.
Yeah.
We made sure to watch
sure.
Transformers. So and we were present there.
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
Huge.
It was an investment in the things that brought you happiness. And today there's so much out there.
Yeah.
It's so much stuff to consume. It's crazy.
I know.
My mother used to also record Jim for me on VHS tapes, and
That's cool.
I remember that. It was that big of a part of my life. So I'm sorry if I'm.
Oh
no, you know what? I never get tired of hearing that, and it's been so beautiful over the years to talk to you guys, because I wasn't able to take the temperature of what was actually happening when the show was on the air. Like there was no social media. So there was no way to really, I was told by my agent that the show was doing really well, and then we'd get picked up for another 13 episodes. So I knew that part of it, but I don't really remember conceiving of like, oh my gosh, my voice is literally being beamed out to all these homes all over the United States, and now the world. Like it's so many different countries, and all these little kids are like following our stories and wanting to do their hair pink, and like I didn't get that. The internet has been amazing to see it.
It's kind of weird, because you would think that you were with ICM, right? You would think that the agent would have showed you or say, hey, this is what we're doing in ratings or whatnot. But maybe because you were a young artist, they didn't want to give that side to you, right? They just wanted you to stay in that creation process.
Well, actually, ICM was before. So that was when I was actually pretty young. I think I was with them from 10 till about 13 or 14. And then I went to... I think I went to Sutton Barth and Denari, like a big commercial agency, and then I went to Arlene Thornton and Associates. He was my agent for a really long time, and she actually married Jack Angel, who played my dad on Gem, who
Yep.
played Emmett Benton. Yeah, so I would see Jack all the
That's
time.
great.
Yeah, I'd go into audition for something because in those days you'd go to your agents and they had a vocal booth and you'd go in and you'd read the copy and audition and they'd fly the tape wherever they send it. And I'd see him so much and he's like, oh, my daughter. We'd always see each other. Yeah, so that was kind of crazy.
That's so cool. That's so
Yeah.
cool. I have a question for you. Can you describe the process of creating the distinctive voice of Jim and Jerica? Like, you say, the voice, the vocals was there before. This whole machine was there. Did you have to change to match the singer, or was it just a natural connection there?
It was a natural thing. I think they heard
Nice.
something in my vocal quality that made sense to them and the way I delivered the lines and I was just the match that they were looking for. And also I remember often when we were in the studio, when we were actually recording, Wally Burr, I'm so lucky to have worked with him. Like, he did thousands of episodes of animation. He was just a wonderful director. And he would always tell us, we want this to sound real. I mean, although there were like crazy buffoonery, craziness going on in the cartoon, he still wanted us to sound like young ladies, young people, so the kids could look up to us. He wanted us to sound real. He didn't want us to sound cartoony, if that makes sense. So that was great because I really identified with my character. I was a very sheltered, earnest, pretty good kid, and all of those qualities that I admire in Jem, it was like I was trying to live up to that in my own life. So I related to my characters very much. And plus, I was also, with my career, it's so funny, like I would have to be Jerica to do got my day planner. What audition do I have today? Where do I have to be? What phone calls do I have to make? All of that. And then I'm Jem, who gets up on stage and does my Samantha
performer.
thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is so surreal,
Right.
What's fascinating is I could close my eyes and still hear the difference. So I could tell that you were trying to put more of a voice that was a different tone, even a personality, into a different character from Jem to Jericho. And I just thought that was, now looking back on that now, it's fascinating how much work you had to put into that.
Yeah, Jem just like arrives, although she has to put up with the misfits and all of that craziness, but she's got a little bit more of the swagger. And I always felt like Jerica was kind of stressed out.
Yeah.
Right. The executive trying to get things done.
Right. And she was always like micromanaging, trying to multitask and take care of Starlight children, and like it was just madness. Yeah.
Nobody can relate to her because they think she's two different people. So
right,
exactly. It's just this big secret that's torturing her.
Oh no! We'll have to
before I forget, I just wanted to acknowledge the artist who this background is. His name is Pietro, and he's done some beautiful Gem and Holograms artwork. He actually did the variant cover for my Hologram 2.0 vinyl. So I just wanted to give a shout out. This is a new piece that he's done, and it's so pretty. I love it.
It's still, it's awesome. It's awesome. He does great work.
Yeah,
you're going to be in Columbus, Georgia. Are you bringing anything down with that artwork or any or anything?
Girl, what's so fun is that my friend's coming with me, and she's never been to a Comic-Con in her life, and she doesn't really know much about the cartoon, just more my age. Yeah. So I can't wait for her to experience a Comic-Con and just all of it and everything Gem and 80s and all of that. It's just going to be so much fun, and especially the horror aspect as well. So, what was your original question? I'm sorry, I went off.
Well, no. You're good because you kind of segue to. I was going to bring up. Do you have any treasures like near you right now that you can show, or collectors? Because you know that the collectors culture is pretty huge right now.
Oh, it's huge. I'd have to get up for a second, but yeah, I do. I have a lot of stuff. I do. Let me see. Hold on. Let me take my earphones off. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
I love the artwork that she has right there.
Yeah.
He's a great artist. He's a really good artist.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. This is something
Yay.
that was made for me, which is so cool. I don't know if you can see it.
What? That I do see it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's half Transformers, half Gem.
What?
More than meets the eye. So it's the Autobot. I mean, it's got Autobot Emmett only beginning with a cassette tape, and it's got Autobot Jackie. She's got the power. It's got Autobot Starlight. Like it's my
Yeah.
friend
What?
Nicholas had this made for me, and I'm
That's
like, what?
so cool.
It's so amazing. Whoever did this, I'm just like, I mean,
Right.
every
Like the
detail on
packaging
bottom,
is so cool.
packaging,
Yeah.
the packaging alone. Yeah, and I just had these beautiful acrylic figures made that I'm going to bring. I have one of Jem and one of Jerica, and they're clear acrylic with they're great. They're great. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah,
I can't
and
wait to see them. I
have so much stuff. I have Jem earrings, and I have Jem Halloween costume, and just when that's what I was going to say is when I drive, it's great because I just bring as much as I can fit in my car. So
yeah.
So that's
Nice.
always fun because flying is a little trickier.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to get everything under 50 pounds. It's like, I'm Jem. I can't do that.
Yeah, right?
That's exciting though. I can't wait to see the little figures you're gonna have there and everything.
Yeah, and I got my vinyl record and all kinds of posters and just stuff. Lots of fun stuff. These really great tote bags. Yeah, all kinds of fun things. So.
Oh, that'd be great.
It's really fun too when people bring their stuff. People bring
Right.
stuff for me to autograph, which is great.
Right,
This is
right.
exciting.
How did it feel to be nominated twice for a Young Artist Award for your work on Gem and Holograms?
That was really a treat. It was so lovely. So it was the Youth and Film Awards, and I remember going for quite a few years. God, the kids back in the day. I have a program from it, and it was like Martika, Renee Sands, Drew Barrymore.
What?
Just, oh my gosh, the kids of that era. It was all of them. It was Dana Hill. It was, oh gosh, I wish that I had it in front of me because I'm going to forget a million names, but Laura Hardin, just all these people, Sarah Jessica Parker. So every year we'd have this, it was like the Academy Awards for kids. And it was amazing. And so it was all the kid stars at the time. And I got nominated for best performance as a voice talent. Or I can't remember exactly what it was. Well, it was really fun, really nice. And it was a big event and we all got to dress up and,
That's amazing. That's
yeah, it was cool.
That's so cool. That's so cool. All right, so let's talk about Transformers. Yeah. So how was that like being Ariel in Transformers? Because that was pretty dope. I mean, she was like what, the only female on the team at the time, correct?
Yeah, I guess she was the first female Autobot. Of course, she was pink. Like pink seems to be my signature color as far as the animation goes. But it was. We used to kind of jump ship a lot. I know that they did Transformers in the same studio. So one day Wally was like, I've got a part that I think you'd be great for. So I came in on a day off, I guess. I didn't get to record Ensemble, which we did with Jem, but for this one, it was just Wally and I in the studio. And then they flew in the other voice actors afterwards. But yeah, I mean, it's so weird. I have to pinch myself sometimes when I'm at Comic Cons because I know how important these shows are to the 80s kids and the 90s kids. And to, like, my friend was saying to me, she's like, I said, I only guest starred on the Transformers. And she's like, there aren't many people in the world that can say that, Sam.
Right. Period.
Like,
yeah.
Okay. So I'm part of the Transformers legacy, and that's really beautiful. And, I just love it.
So, Samantha, I have something funny to tell you. I am a huge Jem and the Holograms fan. My husband, who is coming down to Columbus, Georgia, is a Transformers fan. And
that makes sense.
He's more on the Decepticon side, but but it's really funny that we're both going to get to meet you, and
that's so lovely. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
So much fun.
It's going to be so much fun. It really is, and I do. It's so cute because I get a lot of men that come up to me and they're looking at the Transformer stuff, and then they'll just kind of say, I really like Gem too, you know, like kind of under their breath. Like they're so shy about it.
Be honest, guys. Yeah.
I'm like, I know you liked it.
It's
Right.
It was
it's the
wild.
man's pink. It's the man's pink. Embrace it. Embrace it.
It is the man's pink, and you know, Hasbro wasn't stupid. They didn't want to lose the boys, so they put in car
Right.
chases and
Right.
all
Yes,
the
they did. The
craziness.
stunts. Yeah.
Yeah, how can you not fall in love with the Misfits and want to see what craziness, what felonies
Right.
they're committing next episode? You know,
Yes.
Right. It was
And
very.
something
they
for
tried to
everybody.
kill you. They tried to kill like
literally.
I'm remembering that they tried to blow up an arena one day. I don't remember. There was something they did something really like I was. Is that going to
Yeah,
happen?
they blew up Starlight House or the mansion. Or,
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's funny because people ask me, "Do you remember actually recording? Is there anything during recording that stands out to you?" And that actually stands out to me. I remember. It must have been very early on in the show, and Charlie Adler, he's Eric Raymond and Tech Rack and all of the others, and he was standing next to me, and he's like, "There's a bomb! There's a bomb!" And I just remember going, because I was still so new to voiceovers, and he went for it in a way that I was just like, wow. And it gave me permission. Like I started to understand that they were teaching me, like,
Wow.
you get to play here and you can play big because this is animation and it doesn't matter what your face looks like and it doesn't matter if your arms are going everywhere, you know. And I just would watch them work, and I remember him saying that line and going, wow, that was incredible. Yeah.
Seems like
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Can you share a memorable experience from working on the film Hook as the voice of young Peter Pan's mother?
Yes. So I went to a big sound stage, a big looping stage. Looping is when you match dialogue, you replace dialogue that's in a film. And the cool thing about that session, well, there are two cool things. First, I got thrown out of a audition for a British, like, Calvin Klein voiceover commercial. I had an audition. Yeah, I had an audition for it. Not like thrown out. They didn't like shove me out the door, but I went to audition for this, and it was for a British girl and British young woman. And of course, I'm from England. And the sign-in sheet wasn't where it should be. So the casting lady had come out and, you know, was wrangling people. And I said, "Do you know where the sign-in sheet is?" And she was like, "Are you here for the British thing?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "You don't sound British." And I'm like, "Oh, but I was born there. I'm from there. I can do English." And she's like, No. We specifically asked that you be, you know, authentically British." And she made
You like,
me
yeah. You like, yeah, I am. I'm born there.
Right, I'm born there, and I spoke like that for many, many years. And yeah, so she told me to leave, and my agent was so angry.
What?
But not long after that, I booked Hook, where you know, Steven Spielberg signed off on my British accent. Thank you very much.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go. One door closed, the other one opens.
Right,
I love that.
So satisfying. It was so satisfying.
Oh my goodness.
When I went to the session, and for the fans that don't know, it's the scene with Robin Williams where he's in the cave and he's starting to remember who he is, and he's holding his bear, and he's like, "I remember my mother. You know, Mommy used to put Teddy in the pram with me." And I'm the voice of the mother saying, "Oh, of course, very fine schools indeed. First he will attend Whitehall and then Oxford." And so that's the whole voiceover. It's a really beautiful part of the film. But then when I went to do the recording of it, the actress Dana Hill, who sadly passed away when she was pretty young of like a stroke due to diabetes, or she had a lot of health problems. But she was voice talent. She was also like a kid star. I loved her. I always thought she was amazing. After school specials. And so Google Dana Hill and you'll find out who that is. But she was doing the voiceover for the Peter Pan. They call it body English. Well, at least they did when I was working back in that realm, where Peter Pan is like coming into Wendy's room, like Gwyneth Paltrow, and he's doing all of this physicality, and she was the voice of him. So I was
Yeah.
watching her work before my session, which was so cool because I always respected her so much, and I didn't expect to see her there. So when you watch Hook and you're watching the Peter Pan scene, when he's the young boy Peter Pan, that's Dana Hill's voice, which she was great, yeah. But it was lovely, and it's such a beloved film. Like so many people grew up
Yes.
with it, and the cast. Oh my god, the cast is amazing.
Listen, Samantha. Let me just tell you, you are winning with me. You got so many like kudo points because I'm like, you not
Aw.
only hit my childhood, but like you went to Hook. Like that's my movie. Like that was like
Right?
Steven Spielberg. Hook was like the top notch Peter Pan film. No one can do
Yeah.
it like it. The stars. I mean, Dustin Hoffman, Julia Roberts. Like
Yeah.
everyone was there, and then I'm like Samantha Newark. Let's go. Like, trust me, you hit
Yeah.
every moment. I mean, I'm just
Thank
loving it.
you.
I'm
And
loving
I'm not
everything.
even credited for it. I might be now, but for years I was not credited. They did that a lot with voice talent for some reason. Like the caterer gets credited, but the voice talent doesn't. And I was always like, that's so weird. But I still get checks every once in a while. Like
You get those residual checks
I
coming in.
do. They're like,
Nice.
you made $1.22. I'm like,
Oh,
You're,
yeah.
oh,
Yay.
yay!
Thank you,
Oh,
Hook.
yay, Hook!
Yay.
Now I can go to the Dollar Tree
And I
and get
take
me
it to
a
my bank.
candy
Buy
bar.
my mention.
yeah, I
Right.
can go to the Dollar Tree.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. So my other question is this: how did your voiceover work in the video game like God of War and Twisted Metal differ from doing animation roles?
So it was different in the sense of I sang on those games, and I had a co-writer, my friend Mike Reagan, who's a composer, like so talented. Like he's one of those guys, like plays everything, writes like he's that guy. And so we were co-writing for years. He used to be my live guitar player a lot when I would sing out in LA. And I loved working with him. And one day he called me and he's like, Sam, can you do like a Middle Eastern kind of Lisa Gerrard, wailing ambient vocals? And I just said, I will try. And so I went to his home studio, and I remember he kind of turned the lights down a bit and just put a lot of
What?
reverb
Let's
on the
go.
mic. Yeah, and he just played the track, and I just improvised. And so that was Twisted Metal Black and God of War, a very similar type thing. Everything or Nothing was a very similar type thing, but that was actually with Sean Callery, who did all the music for La Femme Nikita and 24. He's gone on to be a crazy, wonderful composer for a million different things, Sean Callery. So I worked with him on Everything or Nothing. Yeah, so I got to sing on those games, which was really fun. Yeah,
Really cool.
That's great.
I mean, technology has changed back then, right? So
yeah.
I don't know if you had the animation playing while you were
No.
when you were speaking. Okay.
Oh, actually, God of War, yes. God of
Okay.
War, I did see the animation because I did.
How was that for you?
That was wild. I was like, this is what the kids are playing today. Oh my god! Like I grew up with like
God of
Pong
Wars.
and Miss Pac-Man and I
Right?
was so floored. I was so completely floored when I saw it on the big screen. I was like, that. Oh my gosh, that's where we're going. That's incredible. I do remember that. Yeah.
God of Wars.
Yeah. And then I got to do like the English versions of 4 different songs on Wild Arms 3. And then I sang the theme
Really?
song on Project A-ko, which I guess is like a pretty beloved anime classic. Yeah, I got to sing the theme song on that. And
Oh
yeah,
my goodness!
cool.
So Samantha, you literally hit every box of like the like the pop culture world. Like,
Yes.
Aw.
Yes.
like
Yes.
that's
And then there's
crazy.
Summer Camp Nightmare.
Mayor,
which
yes.
I laugh about because I just remember having so much fun in the mountains of Santa Monica with we were all teenagers and being ridiculous and staying overnight, and it was crazy. It was so much fun shooting a
Wow.
movie, and then having fans like bring me posters from that and 8x10s for me to autograph. I was like, what? Yeah, I used to watch it on HBO, or I was like, what? That's crazy.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
What has it been? What has been your favorite voiceover project to date, and why?
Well, gosh, I would have to say Gem, because this show has just been such an amazingly beautiful journey, from actually working on the show and learning so much about voiceover from Sue Blue and Charlie Adler and Patricia and all these people, these incredible voice talent that I worked with, Townsend Coleman and Patricia Albrecht. So that was an incredible journey. And then to Google Gem one day, back in the 1999 or something, I remember Googling Gem, and all of these sites dedicated to Gem and the holograms were coming up, and I was so floored. And so I started to I reached out. I would gingerly kind of email them and be like, hey, your site is amazing. I'm so blown away. And I got to be the voice of Gem, and then it was getting the reactions from the fans, and then over the years, I've just really built a really beautiful, I should say the fans and I have built a really beautiful connection. And then social media happened, and then everybody started to be like, who is the voice on my favorite? And then it was just off and running.
That's crazy.
It's been a beautiful journey. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I know you were voice talent, but did you get a chance to be on the side of the business and talk to, the president of Hasbro's and look at the toy line?
No.
You weren't. That was okay. Wow.
We were basically worked to hire voice actors, SAG, and so we never had anything to do with the writing, the animation, products.
Wow.
Nothing. It was all very compartmentalized in that way.
You know what? Maybe they should have talked to you, because they made Jim's head too big on that toy. Her
I
head
know. I've heard that too.
So big.
She kind of looks like a drag queen. She's very tall.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
But I felt
awesome.
Beautiful.
I felt that was a strategy, because to be different from Barbie, that was
I think
strategic.
It probably initially was.
It is.
Yeah. But
that's crazy.
Now they're people love collecting the vintage dolls, and I have quite a few of them myself. But I just wanted to mention the drag culture around Gem. Oh my God. I've seen several times I go to shows, and I bet a pack of queens, misfits, and the holograms, and their wigs are so much closer to God, because they're just they know how to do wigs like nobody's business.
They're so creative.
They're so creative, and it's there are all of these references on RuPaul's Drag Race to Gem, and I just get such a kick out of that. I'm wow,
it's awesome. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the Gem culture totally lends more creativity to them, so that they can be outrageous and big.
Truly outrageous.
Yeah. And I've also heard some really poignant stories, because the secret identity, that Jerrica struggled with, that nobody knew she was really Gem.
Wow.
And so they've told me that was so core to the struggle that they were having growing up. And you're hearing things like this, these really personal, beautiful stories, and people cry. And I'm like, wow, I always say I'm custodian of something really, really precious, and I don't take that lightly. I don't. Yeah. I think it's really beautiful. Your childhood is special, and if I can be an ambassador for that, how cool, how beautiful.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
I always took this when I watched Jim all the time. I was very much for I was a Jericho. I was constantly, trying to do the hard work and trying to do things for everybody. But I always secretly wanted to be Jim. I wanted to be that. That's why I became a musician on like that, and tried to reach that.
Wow.
And so it even takes that tone with people that who I am today. I can be somebody else. I can be whoever I want to be, you know, and just stay true to yourself. So that's where I took Jim when I was a kid, and I did. I strived for success, even turned my hair purple.
Yes, I love it.
And I love how you say you were Jericho, because I can see that Jericho-esque in you. Samantha, she's a great director and just a go getter. She had me do work with Rochelle Davis on an interview for The Crow, and just to see her events, I was very surprised and shocked. So to
That's
see her work,
lovely.
so yes,
Yeah.
and we have Evil Trez Little from horror movies and beyond. Love Jim and the theme song Still Slay. Yes, we were just listening to some of that Evil Trez, and I was in the back just getting mine, cutting the rug back here. But like, yes, you're right. It's so it is, and the thing is, it's so timeless, and I feel like you have shows like Hannah Montana and all the really taking a piece of
Yeah.
Jim and putting it into their shows now.
Yeah, I would think that the kids that grew up watching Gem were very involved in the creation of Hannah Montana, because it's
Right.
yeah. And
So
it's
you
funny
didn't?
oh, go ahead.
No, I had a quick question. You didn't get
Yeah.
any royalties from like the merchandise?
Oh no. That was all Hasbro. Yeah.
Wow.
That was all Hasbro. But I didn't create the show. I was hired to be the voice talent for Jem and
Voice.
Jerica
Yeah.
and Deirdre, Starlight Girl. And when we were like, whenever you hear like the press, or you hear, they call it crowd walla. So we were always the walla, and it was hilarious. And
Wow.
I just remember Wally Burr like a conductor, because we'd have to speak, but you couldn't say words. It was this whole thing where you'd be like, and then you go, and then you get louder, and then he was like a conductor. I was like, this is the most insane job I've ever had. This is so cool. Like, that's crowd
That's
walla.
so right. The crowd talking in the background and all this stuff.
We were like
Yes.
going, Jem, Aja, Shayna. Like, it was all us.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. That's insane. Like, I'm so sorry. I literally, because I remember hearing it, and I remember like sitting by the TV, because I would watch TV really close when I was a kid. And I'm like, what are they trying to say? And so when you totally said that, it just blew my mind, because it connected me to that little Willie who was in the
childhood.
yeah. And I'm like, I remember that jabbering, and when you
Isn't that
said
funny?
we purposely did it,
Yes.
and we would do it like this, it totally just took me somewhere. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's so
Thank
cool.
you.
I love that
Yes.
connection. That's really cool.
Yeah. Go ahead, Shannon. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Oh, no. I had a question about the working with the Misfits. Did you become friends with them at all? I was curious, because I wondered.
As a cartoon.
They weren't trying to kill you all the time. I'm just curious.
I know, right? Well, they were all. So I was the youngest member of the cast. They were all kind of in their 30s, and here comes this 18-year-old girl.
Wow.
Yeah. So we didn't have a lot in common other than the show. So we never. Some of them hung out independently of me, but I was just so young, So like, I didn't really fit. I mean, I fit in the working environment, but it wasn't like we were going to go and hang out and have coffee or whatever. But later, it was through this thing called GemCon. And if the fans haven't heard of GemCon, it is a convention entirely dedicated to Gem and the holograms. People fly from all over the world. It's in a different city every year. This year in October, the 5th and 6th, I believe it is, it's going to be in Phoenix, Arizona.
No way.
And it is so much fun. The cosplay, you have no idea. Like, people work on their stuff for a year. We have this amazing dance party. There are workshops, there are panels. It's all Gem. I'm gonna be at this one this year. Yeah, and
I hope to see pictures.
Oh yeah,
I'll
not
be following
actually.
you.
Yeah, it's gonna be so fun. But
Awesome.
I lost I don't know what I was referencing when I mentioned that. Oh well, it'll come back to me. But there was a point to that.
I know you were talking about the Misfits and this, and
Oh, yes.
being. Yeah.
Thank you. So the first GemCon I ever did was 2006 in Orlando, and
Wow.
they reunited Patricia Albrecht, the voice of Pizzazz, and myself, and we hadn't seen each other since the show, and we hung out all weekend. Became so close to each other, and she was a big part of the reason why I ended up moving to Nashville. And I spent a lot of time with her here. She was my dear friend, and sadly we lost her Christmas Day in 2019. She had cancer and she died. So it was a big loss, but I will always just treasure. We used to do shows together because she was like, "What Comic-Cons?" And I was trying to explain to her, like
what it was.
the
Yeah.
fans want to meet you, and she was always so humble. But then she was like this little tiny little nugget of a person, and then she'd do the pizzazz thing. Be like, well, where did that come from? she was so great. She was so great, and an amazing poet, and just lovely human. Yeah,
it was amazing how Jim and the Holograms was this very adult topic cartoon that teens who were coming of age and all that kind of stuff really connect with, and I really enjoyed the adult content piece of it.
Yeah, like there was kissing.
Yeah. And I don't know if, like, a lot of people would get that, but I loved it. Like the whole, and I wanted to add the riot, like
the riot storyline.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like balancing two different relationships at one time. How did you feel about that? Like, was it that storyline was just very unique?
It was unique, and I thought, oh gosh, it's ramping up. She's going to be found out,
Yeah.
I really relate. I relate to what you say about loving the more adult, because when we say adult, we're not saying like adult, like, but just more mature themes.
More mature.
Because I had friends that had older sisters that had boyfriends. And as a young girl, like you're just like, oh, I want to be like her when I'm 16, or I want to dress like that, and I want to have a boyfriend like that, and it's a very innocent thing. We're kind of the older siblings, like the older sisters that had boyfriends and could drive, and so that's how I kind of think about that.
Yeah, I had a crush on Riot.
Inappropriate. You had what?
A serious crush on Riot. And I was like,
my God, his voice.
What are you thinking?
He was, well, how could you not? Like, people have asked me, so would she have ended up with Rio or Riot? And I always say, I think she would have had a wild, passionate love affair with Riot. And then she finally realized that Rio is her first love, and he's, good dad and all of it, doesn't have as many issues as Riot.
Yes.
I love it.
It's almost
I want to go back. I want to go back into the past and check out these merch and see what you guys had when collecting some Jim merch. Here we go. Take a look, guys.
Jim is truly outrageous. Truly outrageous. Jim's the most glamorous rock star ever. But I can dress her as Jerica, president of Starlight Music. Only Jim's band, the Holograms, Kimber, Asha, and Shayna know that Jerica is also Jim. The clothes are so sharp. Her Jim Star earrings are the ultimate. The music is totally awesome. Jim is truly outrageous. Jim comes with Jim and Jerica outfits. Kimber, Asha, and Shayna sold separately with cassettes from Hasbro. Jim's got a cassette player. Truly outrageous and totally Jim's got a cassette player that turns into the Jim Star stage. Jim puts on the ultimate concerts right on the Jim Star stage. It can turn into Starlight Music where Jerica spends her days. Yes, it's the best. Jim on the Jim Star stage. The Jim Star stage converts to a portable cassette player. Jim and her friends sold separately. Jim is battling the misfits in the battle of the bands. Roxy, Stormer, and Pazelle. The clothes are outrageous. Truly outrageous. We are the misfits. Our music is better. Their music's awesome. We're taking it all. It's Jim and the Holograms. The misfits are better. We'll let our fans decide. Flash and Sizzle Jim, the Holograms, and the misfits each sold separately with cassettes. Jim.
Wow.
I had that stage with the Yes, I had it. I swear.
I
to
with
you.
the guitars with the
Yep, I
keyboard
had
the
it.
keyboard.
Yes.
Wow, I was looking at it like there was one of them that I mean, there's so many commercials kind of put together, but there's one with the apartment that opens up. My sister had that, and
Yeah.
it's just so crazy. And it's seeing that
So
like the
funny.
hair cuts, you know, and the style. Like
Yeah.
that gave permission for my sister to cut her hair and her Barbie's
Yeah.
hair, and it never panned out right. So just to see it, it's so awesome, you guys.
So funny.
And what did you guys? So did you have the same collection, Samantha?
I've been able to get
I see you
things
keep
over
looking
the
up.
years.
Yes,
Yeah, like up here, I wish I could show you, but I've got the
I'm
Rockin'
sure.
Backstager, and I've got
Wow.
Aja. I've got my glitter and gold doll, the original that I remember my dad saying when I was doing the show. He's like, darling, you should get yourself a doll. I was like, Dad, I probably should. So I went to Toys R Us with my mom, and I got glitter and gold, and I've got Leo, and I've got some of the beautiful Integrity dolls too, and they're just
Wow.
amazing. And a fan, one time I was in a show, and he came and he put a Rockin' Roadster, the car,
Oh,
in front of me,
Yeah,
and I
I
thought he
remember.
wanted to. Yeah, it's big. It's really big, and he wanted me to.
That's
I thought he
insane.
wanted me to sign it, but he's like, no. It's for you, and he gave it to me. I was like, I can't take this, and he's like, no, I brought it for you. Just take pictures with me. And just people are
Wow.
just so lovely. I just it's hard to let it in sometimes. I'm trying to work on receiving more, because it's the fans are just so lovely. They bring me handmade things and gifts, and I'm just
That's
like, wow,
beautiful.
it's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very cool.
I had to show those merchandise. When I saw it,
great.
it cracked me up. It totally brought me back. So I was like, okay, let me see what they had.
Yeah.
I have a question. There's talk of you starting or working on a book. Is it an audio book? And are you still in the works? Is that still in the works for you?
So yeah, I started to write a book. Just people have been asking me to write a book for years and years, and when I have been in panels talking about my journey in the business, people are like, "Oh my God, you should write a book." So it's kind of I put it on the back burner right now because so much stuff has been going on in my own life. But yeah, I need to pull it out again and start working on that because yeah, there's some interesting stories.
Wow.
That all kind of tie into Gem and my journey in this crazy show business world that I've been in since I was a little kid. So
I tell you,
yeah.
it will fly off the shelves. People want to hear your story. Yes, your whole journey through it. Because I mean, again, you guys, if for the ones that's listening and the ones that are watching with us, I mean, she checks every box in pop culture and in every culture in every genre, and was a big impact and influence on us all. And I'm so excited to know you now and to have
So
you be
sweet.
part
You
of our
guys are
Yep
so
the Scary
lovely.
family.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to meet you when I'm
Yes,
I'm
listen. We're even throwing a party or helping with a party, so we're gonna have fun.
Yes, come
And
hang out with us. Yes.
I love
yeah,
that. I like
right.
parties.
Yeah,
Very
it's gonna be
much
good.
so. Yeah.
I
Oh, that's
since
great.
you did that accent, I want to ask you a question. How was Halloween for you when you were young and in England?
We didn't have Halloween in England. We didn't have it. So
Wow.
my first Halloween was when we came to America. We were in Virginia, and yeah, and I remember we had some little neighborhood friends, and they invited us to Halloween. And we didn't have costumes. We had this thing called Guy Fawkes. That was it's the 5th of November, actually, the similar time of year in England. He was a man that tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament, and they burned him. And so I don't think they let you do it anymore, but the neighborhood, all the people in the neighborhood would gather all the children, and they'd make an effigy of Guy Fawkes, and then they'd throw him on the fire, and everybody would be like, yay, Guy Fawkes. So that was like the closest thing I had to Halloween growing up. But yeah, so I had
Scary.
probably,
That is scary.
it's not crazy. I had probably 3 years of Halloween, and then it was just like, you're too old to be trick-or-treating now. So I think my last one was Dorothy, because I was like 14, and that was probably the end of it. But as far as trick-or-treating. But I love Halloween. It's so much fun. I was an 80s rocker chick last year with like this huge blonde wig and just like the lace gloves and the, the rhinestones, and it was so much fun.
Oh,
So ridiculous.
I think Willie is frozen up here.
Oh no, he has.
He's got a great smile frozen up like that. I mean,
does.
He does.
That's perfect. If you're gonna have a still shot, at least you're not like.
There he is. He's gonna come in and come right back.
Okay.
Oh, the internet is a wonderful thing, but sometimes it's a little tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm trying to jump in to get his questions in. You were talking about living in Nashville for some time. I visit Nashville frequently. I work with some of the bands up there.
Oh my gosh.
I'm wondering if we ran into each other.
Yeah, let me know when you're in town. You should reach out to me. We'll go grab coffee or something.
I would
really
love
cool.
that.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah.
What's it like living up in Nashville?
Well, strangely enough, I was just actually talking to somebody about that the other day. It's taken me a long time to kind of get here, really, because I was traveling so much. I knew how to get to the airport, and it was basically like, I don't even know where I live. I know the local, I know where the Walgreens is and the gas station, but and then when I'm not traveling, I just want to be home. So for quite a long time, I was just like, I don't know where I live. I am thinking Nashville's great, but I really don't know. So little by little, you start to make new, because it's hard to start over with friends, and that takes time. But I can't say I still know a whole lot about. I'm not like fully immersed in the music culture here and all of that, but I do love it here. It's a beautiful place to live. It's been an amazing place to live. I was in LA pretty much, since the age of 12 till 2008. I left, and it was time to leave. It's sadly it's lost its sea legs there. Hopefully one day it'll come back. But I have great memories of LA, like a love and hate relationship with LA, as a lot of people do. But Nashville's, every time I fly back into Nashville from somewhere else, you kind of feel it. It's like you see all the trees, and it's like.
And you get your seasons too, don't you? Kind of get your seasons when you do in LA.
We do. Like I was in
seasons.
denial for like a good year that I had to get like a scarf and a hat and gloves. I was like, what?
I am not cold.
What? I don't gloves, like a pair of gloves. You grow up in California, you're like, gloves? Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Like I learned pretty quick. Like it's cold here, but it's beautiful.
And Nashville's the perfect place to be a musician. You're surrounded by so many talented artists. Are you into that country scene at all, or do you?
I'm not. I'm really not. I love country music. I love country music, and I think the songwriting is so beautiful. It's stories, and it's heartfelt, and it resonates with me. It's lovely. But I don't really go down to the honky tonks and do line dancing or
Broadway.
Right. But I do go support some of my friends or artists. I'll go support them. I haven't played out myself in quite a while, because it's just a lot too. It's exhausting.
Well, Broadway itself is crazy busy, and
it is.
I used to go there.
I'm too old for that now. I mean, I'll take somebody down there that's never been, but I'm just like, oh, just been there, done that. Spent all my 20s going to all the different clubs, and just I think you just kind of settle down a bit. Not that I'm not up to. I mean, I love traveling, and I love going to Comic Cons. They're so much fun, and I love going to karaoke parties, and just I love it. I mean, I'm definitely still have a pulse, but
no, I'm the same way. Way.
Yeah. You start to define your preferences a little bit.
Well, I see Willie's back. Hey, Willie.
You're not frozen anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry about that. It happens to the best of us. Technology, right?
Yeah.
You probably can't hear me.
You know what? I'll tell you though, you had the perfect smile when you froze up. We were like,
I did.
We were like, how did you manage that?
I'm glad it was.
Oh no!
Embarrassing. There's been some embarrassed moments where
solar flares, man.
So we'll get there.
Solar flares.
Yeah, right.
No, you know what? It's the Misfits.
Yes,
Right?
I'm gonna blow up the. Never mind. Did not say that. I did not
know.
say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did have another question for you though.
Yeah.
So if you're trick or treating, right? What is your favorite candy or snack?
Always chocolate. And usually
Okay.
like something like Nestle that has the crunch. I'm a
Okay.
chocolate girl. Yeah. I never really liked any of the other stuff.
Okay.
Just give me chocolate.
I love Reese's, so I always want to
Oh
ask
yeah.
that question. Yeah, I'm a good Reese's. Yeah, big
Yeah.
Reese's person.
Kit
And if
Kats or
oh yeah,
you know,
Kit Kats. Yep.
stuff that has a crunch and chocolate and
Yep.
dark chocolate. I love dark chocolate.
Oh, you okay? So you're a big dark chocolate person.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, it has to have some strong coconut like in it for dark chocolate for me. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's yours, Shannon?
It's I think it's called Heath. It's the chocolate crunch.
Oh, Heath bar.
Yeah, Heath bars.
Yeah.
Heath bars are my
Yeah.
favorite. Those are my favorite. My mother would always take my Smarties from me too, and I used to get really angry. But
Smarties. Yes, I remember Smarties.
Are those
Yeah.
like so we had Smarties in England, but we call them M&Ms here, but in England they're Smarties.
oh
Is
wow,
it the
Really?
same thing? Is
So,
that what you're
in
talking
England
about?
they were called M&Ms here.
No,
or-
here what we know as M&Ms here is what we called Smarties in England.
Oh
And they came in like a long tube with a
yes.
little thing and they
Yes.
look like M&Ms. Is that what
Yes.
you're talking about?
Yeah, well,
Yes.
these are like these like they're like a powdery substance that come in like little tiny tablets that would be in a
Yeah.
little wrapper tube.
Oh, okay, that's totally different then. Yeah.
But you know what? I'll bring you some in Columbus and we can try. them.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I like that. I like that
Toblerone
idea.
too. That's
Okay, and then
British. Yeah.
oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a good chocolate,
Toblerone's
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. If you had to play Alice in Wonderland, who would you want to join at your very own tea party? It could be anybody, any celebrity, any, if you had to play Alice, who would you bring to your tea party?
Oh my gosh, that's a really good question. Probably Patricia Albrecht, the voice of Pizzazz, because she is hilarious. She was hilarious.
Okay.
Robin Williams. I would love to see Robin Williams.
Yes,
Oh my goodness.
I
My
love the
dad.
comedy.
Okay.
And it would be amazing to have Lena Zavaroni there, and she could stand up and sing on the table as her 10-year-old self. That would be amazing.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's all I can think of right now.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love
And maybe
that.
some of my
And
lost
choose comedy
pets.
too. I love that
What?
you want to laugh too.
Yeah.
You want your tea party to have some laughter, and I love that. That's
Oh,
nice.
oh, absolutely. Some joy and some laughter. The world needs a lot more of that right now, so I am all about that.
It really does. Thank you.
Yeah.
It really does.
So we are at that time where it is our guest final thoughts. So are you ready, Samantha, to let everyone know where we can find you and
Yeah.
all
I
right.
think so. I've
All
got
right,
a little
here we-
reference book here.
Good. All right, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hi, so you can reach me at samanthanewark.com. That's the best place to kind of find the portals to my social media. And I'm going to be at the Georgia Pop and Horror Con, which is August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Can't wait to meet you. I'm going to also be in Illinois, in Bloomington, Illinois on September 21st. And then that's at the Midwest Toy and Comic Fest. And then I'm going to be at Gen Con in Arizona, in Phoenix, October 4th, 5th, and 6th. And then we'll be saying Merry Christmas to everybody. So thank you for having me. You guys are truly outrageous. This was really fun.
Awesome. Listen, wait, so can we go to your website to make sure we get more information on how we can find you at Gym Con? That's so
Yes.
crazy. There's a Gym
Yeah,
Con.
Gym Con.
Oh my
I'm going.
goodness.
I'm gonna figure this out.
Oh my gosh, if you can, that would be so much fun. Like last time, they had this beautiful girl, and she was dressed as Synergy, and she was the DJ, and she was DJing as Synergy, and I couldn't take my eyes off her. I'm like, what am I watching?
What?
This is
That's
travel on a whole other level.
insane. That's
That was
insane.
so cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
have
that's
Ryan
awesome.
Anderson saying, "Woohoo! I can't wait." Yes, Georgia Poppin' Horror Con.
Oh, we
Samantha there. She's gonna have some treasures, and she's gonna have some treasures there that you can sign and bring yours. Because I like that in the video you said, "Bring your treasures." I love that. I love that saying. So bring your treasures so that you have it signed there as well. So awesome! Thank you so much for the time. Yes.
Thank you
Thank you
guys
so
so
much
much.
for the time
This
and
was
being on
really
the show.
fun. I know.
And
I
I'll
can't
bring
wait
you some-
that I get to meet you. That's going to be so fun.
I'll bring you some candy.
Ah, that's so. You don't have to do that. That's so sweet.
Awesome,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank
Can't
you,
wait
and thank you, Samantha. All right.
Thank you. Shows over synergy.
We love it. We love it.
In the entertainment world of haunted attractions and theme parks, VFX Creates is a leader in Q entertainment, promotional tools, startle and scare props, animated characters, and more.
Shannon.
Dude,
Wow, what a show! Like she like jumped out of the stream, but what a show!
yes.
I feel blessed. I feel
I-
so blessed.
I
To know her
almost
in a-
my 13-year-old little girl that lives inside me heart just kind of cried a little. I was like, oh, I love this so much. Thank you, Willie, for letting me be a part of it. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you. And we want to say, we're excited for our next show. Our next show, tune in. We have Jeremy Placco. I think I'm saying it. Please don't let me mess up the last name. From The Walking Dead. It's going to be here in our studio. to talk about
way.
Walking Dead. Yes, Jeremy from Walking Dead is going to be here. So tune in at 2 p.m. next Sunday. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for next Sunday. I want to thank our guest Samantha Newark for jumping in and blessing us with her time and sharing all her treasures and her journey with us, and being Jim and Jerica Benton, and it's just and Ariel and everything. Just hearing everything.
Like all her
It's so
adventures are
exciting.
amazing.
Yes, and she is so cool. She's so cool, and I want to thank my co-host Shenanigans to being on the show and just totally jumping in for Kat, and to our show supporters and sponsors, to our live viewers watching right now our show. Thank you so much for being on the show and engaging with us. Also, I want to thank you at home, work, or in transit for listening to this podcast and for the love and support. Please remember to follow, like, and subscribe and share our social media channels so we can continue to engage while building our horror family and community. Until next time, guys, we want to say stay scary. Let's go. Yo, if you like what you have just heard, subscribe now or forever hold your screams.